Today we're taking a look at these MLB matches: Chicago Cubs vs Cincinnati Reds, Cleveland Indians vs Minnesota Twins, San Diego Padres vs Colorado Rockies, New York Mets vs San Francisco Giants, and Toronto Blue Jays vs Washington Nationals, which are happening on Wednesday, May 19, 2021, and giving you match breakdowns, betting tips and predictions in general on these games. Welcome back to High Stakes. Let's get straight into it. Also, don't forget to subscribe to get notified as soon as we release these sport prediction videos, and if you would like more betting tips and predictions, then check out our Patreon in the link down below. Our new Patreon is a way for us to help you improve your chances of making more money. 5 plans are available for each and every one of you. You can get 30 extra betting picks all the way up to 270 extra betting picks per month. Stop wasting hours of your time searching for bad betting advice that ends up costing you a lot of money. Join the High Stakes Patreon now and get the best betting picks and advice. Chicago Cubs vs Cincinnati Reds. Tyler Mahle just tallied 6 shutout innings against the Cubs in late July and has completely silenced the rivals, holding them to just 2 runs, 1 earned, in the last 3 meetings this season. Mahle continues to dazzle, reporting a 2.84 ERA in his 3 performances this month. Furthermore, the Cubs' terrible play continues. They were swept in Miami this past weekend and have lost 12 out of their last 13 games. The Reds are taking advantage of the Cubs, winning 7 out of the last 9 meetings. The Cubs have struggled over the past week and come into this game on a 12-game losing streak. They will try to put an end to the streak with a win over the Reds, which will give them their first win in their last 5 games against the Reds. My betting advice for that game is to pick Cincinnati Reds minus 1.5. Cleveland Indians vs Minnesota Twins. The Twins have been one of the better teams in baseball over the last few weeks, and they shouldn't have any issues putting up runs against Plesac, a pitcher that they've scored on pretty consistently over the last few years. For the Indians, their offense is struggling, with multiple key starters hitting well below .200, and that doesn't seem like it's going to change much regardless of who Minnesota sends out as the starter. Zach Plesac, 7.44.64 ERA, 1.11 WHIP, takes the hill for the Indians in Game 3 of this series, and the club has won his last 2 starts. He was pretty solid in his last outing, giving up 2 runs on 5 hits in 7 2/3 innings in a 7-4 win over the Detroit Tigers. In his previous 2 starts, he gave up 11 runs in 9 innings of work. He has had issues with the long ball on the season, as in his 17 starts on the season he has given up the long ball at least once in 13 of them. The Indians are 1-1 in Plesac's 2 starts against the Twins this season, where he gave up 3 runs in each one. My betting advice for that game is to pick Twins. San Diego Padres vs Colorado Rockies. After an impressive walk-off win in the series opener on Monday, it's hard not to like the Rockies in this spot. San Diego is struggling right now, and Gomer has been lights out at home, going 5-1 with a 1.70 ERA in 8 starts at Coors Field. Meanwhile, Colorado's home ballpark has not been particularly friendly to Arrieta over the course of his career. The Padres' newly acquired right-hander is 0-3 with a lifetime 10.13 ERA in 4 career outings at Coors Field. The Padres have been one of the best teams in the National League this season, but have struggled lately. The hope is that Jake Arrieta can fuel a bounce back, as Arrieta was a former Cy Young Award winner, but has struggled this season, allowing 75 runs and 20 starts with only 74 strikeouts. Moreover, Arrieta is allowing a .396 weighted opponent on base average and a .498 expected opponent slugging percentage, both of which are near the bottom of the league, to go along with a 6.13 expected ERA. While Arrieta is hoping to bounce back, the offense hopes to lead the way, as the Padres have one of the best lineups in the MLB, scoring 4.73 runs per game. Fernando Tatis Jr. has led the batting order with 33 home runs, a .299 batting average, a .377 on-base percentage, and a .673 slugging percentage, while Manny Machado has 21 home runs and 206 total bases, but the back half of the lineup has helped put the team over the top. The Rockies are scheduled to counter with southpaw Austin Gomer, who has been one of the team's most pleasant surprises in 2021. After bouncing around between the bullpen and starting rotation over the last few seasons, the 27-year-old has emerged as a full-time starter in 2021. He is 9-7 with a 4.09 ERA in 20 starts, and he's pitched especially well at Coors Field, where he owns a 1.70 ERA, to go along with a 5-1 record in 8 home starts. My betting advice for that game is to pick Colorado Rockies. New York Mets vs San Francisco Giants. The Giants are the best team in baseball, and they've gotten even better since the trade deadline. The addition of Kris Bryant has made San Francisco's balanced lineup even scarier over the second half of the season. San Francisco has scored at least 5 runs in 8 of its last 9 games. The Mets have struggled recently as their starting pitching has fallen apart and their offense has continued to struggle. The hope is that Tyler Megill can help the team bounce back, as Megill is having a surprisingly great season, allowing only 20 runs in 10 starts while tossing 54 strikeouts. In addition, Megill is allowing little to no contact in his starts, with a .195 expected opponent batting average, a .329 expected opponent slugging percentage, and a 2.88 expected ERA, as one of the best young pitchers in the game this season. San Francisco will close the series with right-hander Anthony DeSclafani for the series finale at Oracle Park. In his first season in San Francisco, DeSclafani put together arguably the best year of his career. He comes in with an 11-5 overall record to go along with a 3.29 ERA in 23 starts. With 2 complete games under his belt, he's also morphed into a reliable innings eater for the Giants. However, he's failed to complete 6 innings in each of his last 3 starts. Last time out, the Giants' right-hander spun 5 innings of 2-run ball in a win over the Colorado Rockies. My betting advice for that game is to pick San Francisco Giants minus 1.5. Toronto Blue Jays vs Washington Nationals. Although the Nationals have lost 12 of their last 13 games, the Toronto Blue Jays should approach this matchup like a playoff game. The Blue Jays are looking up at the Tampa Bay Rays, Boston Red Sox, Oakland A's, and New York Yankees, and will need to pass at least 2 of those teams to get into the postseason. The Blue Jays certainly won't make up ground by losing to teams like Washington. The Blue Jays have performed well recently in these situations, winning 16 of their last 21 interleague games against a team with a losing record. Jose Barrios was tagged in his last start. He went 4.1 innings and gave up 8 hits, 4 walks, 6 earned runs, and struck out 3 in a loss against the Los Angeles Angels. Barrios has a record of 8-6 with a 3.52 ERA, 1.09 WHIP, and a 142/37 KBB ratio in 23 starts this season. Opposing batters are hitting .213 against Barrios this season. He has gone 6 innings or more in 15 starts. Barrios is having a very good season. The Jays' pitching staff has been good this season. As a team, they are above average in ERA, WHIP, strikeouts, and batting average against. They are top 10 in hits allowed, runs allowed, and walks allowed. They are just outside the bottom 10 in home runs allowed, but played most of the season in a very hitter-friendly park in Buffalo. Now they are playing back at the Rogers Center in Toronto. They will not give up as many home runs. My betting advice for that game is to pick Toronto Blue Jays minus 1.5. Good luck to all of you. That's it for this video. Stay tuned and stay safe for the next betting tips and advice.